Hello and welcome to Influence Inner Self. So one more session with me. My name is Amit, and what you're going to look at or what you're going to learn from here today is how to master reading from the director's levels. So before I go into what is the director's levels, I have got a couple of points that I will be talking in the next few minutes. And just wanted to tell you is the doer's level and the director's levels are very different. Doers level is what you are doing right now. If you are an employee of a company, if you are a student, if you are somebody who is working in an organization and doing all these things, you are just doing this. But a director's level is he understands 10,000 things beyond that. He understands what you are creating is how exactly the things can be compiled and how it actually gets to the end user or the consumer or the client, right? So that's called as director's level. So when you read everything and anything, and this particular topic is where I'm going to take you to that level where now you will be looking things in a different way. This is going to change your life because it is not a promise that I'm talking about, but it is a 100% guarantee because the way I'm going to talk to you, the way I'm going to take you through all these levels, and this is the world's biggest power is how can you understand and observe. Just imagine all the struggles of your life, all the communications that you have done, all the expectations that you had actually achieved or not achieved or couldn't give to your fellow mates, peers, better half, neighbors, society, nation, everywhere is all because of your understanding capacity. According to Napoleon Hill, according to Rutherford, according to Earl Nightingale, according to many such kind of people, including the chiefest leaders, they all have one quality. They are able to observe and they're able to think and they're able to do, right? So if you have this OTD, observe, think and do, this is a new abbreviation which I'm using it for the best people who wants to be successful from here on. So without going into here and there, and let's ask you directly, are you willing to learn from the leader's level or the director's level? Are you willing to take that things into control by just understanding one thing is how do you observe? So here in this few minutes, we'll be looking about what are the observation skills that you require, what are the things that you have, and how you're going to go step by step. So let's understand what are the things we have today. The first thing is we'll learn about communicating through content. And we'll talk about the text would be a 3 level of persuasions and how actually this can change any guy or any person who is reading your content. That might be your proposal, your content, your brochure, your catalog, anything. And if you are a marketing person, or if you are not a marketing person, you are applying for a new job, you need to design your resume, your curriculum vitae, or your biodata, or you are just a homemaker designing something and talking about it, and you are writing to your near and dear ones. This is the basic that you need to learn. So I'm trying to give you a lot of values to it. Please take a pen and paper and be ready because I'll be right back with all these things in details. So the first one is the text that would do a 3 level of persuasion and change making and change thinking to verb. Verb means the actions. So let's go a little deeper here and I'll just tell you a small thing about what are the 3 levels of persuasion. So how it gets inside. The first thing, when you read anything, any book, any content, any article, you watch any videos, you meet any people, this persuasion's 3 levels are very simple. One is called compliance. The second one is called identity. Okay. And the third one is called internalization. Okay. Now what is compliance? So compliance are sometimes it happens like, for example, if you have been into a party or if you have been in a group or an association or might be an event, when everyone is taking something, might be they are all probably drinking, mocktails and they're not taking any hard drinks. And you say, okay, I'll go along with you, but internally you don't like that. Or they're all eating some kind of pizzas or pasta or something, but you don't like it, but you are going with the flow. It's called as compliances, right? Identity is the next level. In this identity, what happens is you are actually doing that along with that. For example, if you are into fitness and if you have a gym, so only when you are with the trainer, your personal trainer, you are following those veggies and the good calorie stuff and all these things, but alone, you are not able to do that, right? So you are under an influence of somebody. Whenever you are getting in close connection with the gentleman or the lady or the group, you are doing that, but you are not imbibing that. When you are alone, you are not able to do that. and you've got it right. The last one is called as internalizations, where even though the guy is not there, the gym trainer is not there, you are following that trend again and again and again, and you have imbibed that. The faith, the belief is so strong that you are doing all these things. Then it's the third level, and how you can do all these things with the content. And we'll talk about the levels of using the text to penetrate your inner conscious. And I'm going to give you a random example. I have taken Mr. Ted McGrath, one of the leading influencers of the world, and he's teaching people on public speaking and filling up spaces with the stuff. And he does all these things with this simple, this page that he has. And I'm going to talk about his skill of writing. So let's see what other things are there here. And we'll talk about shareable content as well. So that is the second part of it. So now let's go into how Mr. Ted McGrath is actually doing all these things. If you look at it, he doesn't have a title on the top. He has a kind of a bold logo there, and he creates a kind of a title here, which is like, I think the top the title fonts here. Then you have got something which says this entire information, which is going to say it's responsive. That means it can be worked on your phones, it can be worked on your tab, it has some videos. You get a kind of a concept, right? And he says grab is a kind of a small thing that he has written to make it urgent and most important and stuff like that. And here he has used red color with inverted commas. With every word has a capitalization. There is a kind of things that has been worked. Not only that, in this entire image, he actually takes your focus to this word: entrepreneurs, small business owners, consultants, and service business and experts. Now, this is where is his target group. So when you read this, and if it is kind of resonating with you, you are getting to the next level. And here he gives a kind of a small kind of a welcome, and it's making people comfortable with the stuff. Because what you're going to do is he has grabbed the first 9 seconds of yours through this, right? That's the first thing which goes in here. And with this thing, he says it is a video. You can get something like this. You can expect this. So he's creating all these expectations, right? So this is the first part of today's program. I'm going to talk in the few minutes is how exactly the things are there. We'll go into a little deeper structure of the kind of, the videos that he is doing, right? So there is a kind of a video which talks louder than the words. So earlier, the statement which I was talking about, action speaks louder than words, but videos are still louder than the text. Now he has created something like this. You see the first word or the first title, which is starting right now, the subtitle, it starts with a lower font size than the subtitle actually. It's a very cunning way of writing. This writing style is having this first letter as capital letters. Are you able to see this? They're all capital letters. Right. So here, one more thing I want to take you to the next level is, even though it is capital letter, still you can have a second level of concentration. You see this word called more, right? Have you seen this word more? It is entirely capitalized. And then there's the second level. Let me go into the deeper structure. You have got some particular lines which are highlighted with underline, and then highlighted with underline and having a text which is entirely capitalized. There is a reason by which you can see that he has left some of the words with 3 dots or 4 dots, usually 3 dots, which says continuation. You will exactly feel that he's talking to you rather than you are looking at something written. Even though reading is kind of very boring shit, he has made it very interesting by giving the right spacing. Look at those sentences. The sentences has exactly 5 or 6 words here. Their new celebrity, world, today, and it's you. The U is always capitalized, if you have seen, and now the new celebrity is, and there is something. You see the alignment, it is central aligned, so that this entire thing can be seen, read with much more clarity inside a mobile phone or a small screen resolutions. Not only that, he has also created something which has got the exact spacings. It's got these blocks. So it is a video block, which I'm showing it to you. It's a video block. This is an introduction block. This is the second level of getting that confidence. And here, what he's doing is he's creating that compliances with you. Right now, he's creating a compliances, and then after introducing it, he'll be getting to the identity level as well. So look what he does here. He has created one more block, and he says, "Today, what you get." So new release edition of this. Now guys, I have spoken many times in my previous sessions about a new word, and let's write it that word here. It's absolutely something which I always wanted to write it for you guys. 1 second. This is called as surprisingly familiar. You cannot sell something which is absolutely surprising. You need to have a little bit of familiarity into this. So what he's doing is he's building up the familiarity so that you are able to connect. Now you have this word called as the fast client. Now that is a need of the hour. That is everyone needs this. See, everyone who is actually his target market, entrepreneurs, small business owners, consultants, and service experts. What they want business. How they get business is getting the client. And when they want the client, they want immediately fast. And what he's doing is he's creating this element of familiarity, and he's also using a new word called as formula, which is actually hiding the actual word, what he's trying to do. So this creates a surprise element, and this is what I call as surprisingly familiar. Right. So going to the next level, you will find a lot of this surprisingly familiar elements here. Story attraction formula, the message to millions blueprint, the enrollment system, a comprehensive formula, signing up clients today. All these things are basically the words people are trying to understand now. So now here he kind of connects all these things. Maybe you have gotten off a low start. So he's creating all the story part of it. So you start reaching and blah, blah. And he has given equal spaces. As you have seen, these are all taking mental affirmations, so mental yes. So there is a way of talking. 29 yes is 100% yes. And these are some new tactics which is used by some of the entrepreneurs. They are con experts. They can know how to, persuade people by using certain gestures of words. And now I'm talking about how do you convince people just by with your writing capacity, but just having a text. And I'm showing you live with this. This is what is happening right now. And then he's giving you all these things like tools and techniques, So every time he's actually explaining things. What you have in this tool one is you have got this. You see the word attracting, droves to customers to your business. So these are like new way of writing skills. And now there is a different way of looking at the communication also. So this is going to be something which is next level. And I'll be talking about how do you create shareable content, how people get into that level of sharing. This is amazing because this entire course that I have actually designed all these things also, we'll talk about that. In the next video, you will be getting more information about creating a shareable content and why share, liking, commenting, and all these things. I'll go to the deeper understanding of it. But let's go back to what we have. So I was talking about this tools. So he had given this block of information, and it talks about creating a solution. And indirectly is writing, don't have a program, no problem. So he's giving the solutions indirectly as a surprisingly familiar element of his support. So he's talking about something like this. If you don't have a program, no problem. You don't know how to communicate with the message, no problem. And don't know how to make an offer, no problem. You don't know how to get paid your worth, no problem. What he's doing is he's taking a mental affirmation from you that yes, you have to stay back, you have to learn from this, and this is the must tool for you, and I'm going to do all these things for you. Love. Okay, now love, lust, and flattery are the devil's words. Anyways, so this is how you are actually. So if this video is something which is reaching out to you, you will be getting 3 things out of it. Number 1, you will be learning about the new techniques by which you are getting sold. Or you are getting persuaded, or you are getting impressed, or you are getting inspired, or you are getting motivated, and ultimately you do the verb, the language of actions. You take your hand and you click that button and you pay the stuff. Cool, that's fine. But now if you are somebody who is professional, somebody who is an entrepreneur, and this is what you're learning, just check out your brochures, your content, your letters, your PowerPoint presentations. Do they have this kind of elements? You want to know more about that, or you want to learn about that? You can learn all by doing all these things is creating A/B testing of your content. What is A/B testing? If you don't know, write 2 different part of the same thing. One probably with the headlines with a bold and more capitalized structure, or you can use certain things. You see how he's using the power of bold. Are you able to see this? The power of underline and the power of different level of communications. So right now I have given you all this information in a scattered way, and I'm giving you all these things. You check. He's also using a lot of other things like the pictorial representation of things that you have. He has given some sort of booking, books and all those things. And ultimately, I'm sure you will be understanding that he's showing his facial things, because this brings trust. The signature brings trust. The signature with the right hand increase. And I can keep on talking, because this is what I have been doing from the last 20 years, understanding marketing from some of the biggest automotive brands to industrial brands, retail brands, food and beverages, communications through different kind of machines, and probably those kind of places where I'm working with single solopreneurs, advocates, doctors, and all these things from the last 20 plus years now. And this is what happens is you get into this testimonials, people show you things, but you know how you get the testimonials. Now he's showing the testimonials with the second level of trust, and he's doing this word called as internalization. As I said, he'll be doing all this internalization. This is common right now. This is how you design your landing pages and all those things, right? And there is a kind of formula. The formula is open, man. This is the formula. Look at the director's level. This is the formula, how you actually do all these things. You see the arrow is always pointing right. Why there is always a tick mark? Arrow pointing right, tick mark. These are the hidden dynamics to rule your mind and create a persuasions. So if you're learning all these things, this is a tip of an iceberg. This is just a tip of an iceberg. I teach all these things in less than 24 hours. You can write a book, you can write all this content, you can go to the next level, and you can do anything. Mind you can publish a book as well. And if you want to know about that, I'll give you the link of author to authority, and you can become an owner of a book in the next morning. How does that sound? Because the surprising element. So this entire information was absolutely, which I have done the things. Okay, now ultimately you'll have a payment staff, and you know what happens after the payment. So go right and payment and all these things. Still, there will be a lot of people who are not convinced. They need more information. They are those calculative minds which will always go, step-by-step processes, and they want to know what is there beyond. So what I'm doing right now is I have given you a kind of a thing, and you see the kind of images and all those things also. It gives liberty, freedom, success, and all these things. So you'll be thinking that I can also do the same thing, and also I do on a laptop. But boss, have you not seen the background is taken off? You also know that image. Now look at the director's point of view. If you are just staying at the doer's point of view, you want this, but the director's point of view, this is a made-up image. And I can tell you, copy this image and put it on Google. You will find this image has been bought by somewhere, or somewhere it has been taken. Again, the same thing. For the second time, third time, it is actually mentally reverting all these things. The same image is coming back to you again and again. And this kind of structure, which says loyalty and 100% customer satisfactions and guaranteed, this is another way of taking your surety. So if you are still here, if you have learned all these things from me, my name is Amit, and this is what I say, this is how you can influence people also through writing and persuasion. This is just a very small part of the things that I'm doing right now. If you find this information is good, share it with your friends, share it with your colleagues. Tell them also this is how it can be done. If you're working as a solopreneur, use those techniques that I have told you. And this is just basics. So what I have done completed today is I have told you about the text which will do 3 levels of persuasions. What are those? Compliance, identity, and internalization. Number 2, levels of using this text. I have taught you in a basic way of what are the things that you can do by just creating a bold, creating capitalizations, right spacings, right alignment, and giving the right context and the communication to it. And I have also taught you about something called as surprisingly familiar. So in the next content which I'm going to share, I'll be designing an amazing video where I'll be talking about all these things. So this is my aim. I'll be doing something where I'll talk about how you make a shareable content, how get people to like and comment, and how exactly share can work. What is the psychology of sharing? And what will happen what to expect when you're sharing. Now, for example, if I'm asking you guys, if you have liked this video and you are still here, and if this is something which is adding value to you, don't you wish to share this value to your most lovable person who can give you most accountable partners, insights? He can actually help you to mirror yourself, and all these things you can do by just sharing this. Because sharing this information is gonna be a statement of your individuality. People will look at you, what you are sharing. Are you sharing some entertainment stuff, some videos, some movies, some jokes? some self-help techniques and tools, or you are sharing something which can actually do something in your life. Well, so this is what I'm trying to say is if you are there, if you are sharing all these things, you are doing a help to you, not to me. You are doing a help to millions of people who are connected to you. And now you will be actually getting credible. You are getting to the next level because what you share is what you are. And that's the level next. And this is what I call it as reading from the director's levels. Thank you so much for being with me. I'll see you on to the next session of Influence Inner Self. My name is Amit, and thanks for watching again. The next level is I'll be showing you all the structure of shareable content. So stay tuned and look for the link somewhere here, which is going to take you to the next video. And till then, keep watching good content. Keep observing, keep thinking, and let's do it as well. See you. Bye-bye.